there are three prayers every Christian knows: the Lord's Prayer, the prayer of confession, the prayer for salvation. But there is a fourth prayer that Jesus taught in secret, a prayer so dangerous to the religious system that it was systematically erased from every text the church approved. In 1945, buried in the Egyptian desert near Nag Hammadi, ancient manuscripts resurfaced after 16 centuries of silence. And hidden within those pages was the prayer that the demiurge, the false god of this material prison, never wanted you to discover. 4 words, 11 letters, one direct line to the monad, not through a priest, not through a ritual, not through years of devotion. Instantly, if something inside you just shifted, if you felt a recognition you cannot explain, stay with me. That feeling is not coincidence. That is your pneuma remembering what it has always known. If you have ever felt like you do not belong in this world, like something is draining your energy, without explanation, like the answers religion gave you never quite reach the deepest part of your soul, then you are exactly where you need to be. Comment the words "I feel it" below right now. Let me know you are here. Let me know you are one of the chosen ones who is meant to receive this tonight. You see, the prayer I am about to reveal to you was never meant for everyone. Jesus himself made this clear. In the Gospel of Thomas, a text the church refused to include in your Bible, he said that his teachings had 2 levels. The outer teachings were for the masses, the parables, the moral lessons, the stories that anyone could understand. But the inner teachings, the ones that held real power, were reserved only for those who had ears to hear, those with the divine spark, those who carried a piece of the monad within them. And the fact that you are still watching tells me something important about you. The spark inside you recognized this signal. It pulled you here for a reason. And tonight, before you sleep, you will understand exactly what that reason is. But before I give you the 4 words, you need to understand why they work. You need to understand the prison you have been living in without knowing it. Because if you speak these words without understanding, they become just another empty affirmation, and the world is already full of those. What I am about to share with you is not positive thinking. It is not manifestation. It is the key to a door you did not even know existed. Let me take you back to the beginning. Not the beginning your Sunday school taught you. The real beginning. According to the Gnostic texts that survived the church's destruction, before this universe existed, there was only the monad, pure consciousness, undivided awareness, the true source that has no name, because naming it would limit it. From this source, emanations of light poured forth, creating realms of pure spirit, dimensions beyond anything the human mind can fully grasp. This was the pleroma, the fullness of divine existence. And you were there, not your body, not your name, not your story, but the essence of what you truly are was there, united with the source, complete and whole. But here is what they never wanted you to know. Something went wrong. One of the divine emanations, a being called Sophia, wisdom herself, attempted to create without the balance of her divine counterpart. And from this incomplete act, something was born that should not have been. The Gnostics called him the demiurge. He was not evil in the way you have been taught to understand evil. He was ignorant. He looked around and saw nothing but himself, and in his blindness, he declared, "I am God, and there is no other beside me." Does that sound familiar? It should, because that declaration appears in your Old Testament. The being you have been taught to worship, the jealous God who demands obedience, who floods the world in anger, who tests his followers with impossible demands. This being is not the true source. He is the architect of a material prison, and you have been trapped inside it for longer than you can remember. Now here is where it gets even deeper. The Demiurge did not create this prison alone. He generated rulers, powers that the Gnostics called archons. These beings do not want your worship. They want something far more valuable. They feed on your energy, your fear, your confusion, your endless cycles of hope and disappointment. Every time you feel drained for no reason, every time you wake up exhausted despite sleeping 8 hours, every time anxiety grips your chest and you cannot explain why, you are experiencing their harvest. This is not metaphor. This is the system operating exactly as it was designed to operate. And here is the part that will either lose you or wake you up completely. You have been through this before. Not once, not twice, countless times. The Archons created a recycling system for souls. When your body dies, you see a light. Everything you have been taught tells you to move toward that light. Loved ones appear. A feeling of peace washes over you. But according to the Gnostic texts, this is the trap. The light is not the monad. It is the entrance back into the prison. You move toward it, your memories are wiped clean, and you are inserted back into another body to generate more energy, to suffer more, to search more, to never quite find what you are looking for. This is what the Buddhists sensed when they spoke of the wheel of reincarnation. This is what the Hindus touched when they described Maya, the grand illusion. But the Gnostics went further. They did not just identify the trap, they found the exit. If you are still with me, if something in you is resonating with every word, even though your rational mind is trying to reject it, then place your hand over the center of your chest right now. Feel your heartbeat. That rhythm is not just biology. It is the pulse of the divine spark that the Demiurge could not create and cannot destroy. You carry a piece of the monad within you. That is why you have always felt different. That is why ordinary life has never satisfied you. That is why you are watching this video at this exact moment. You are not here to be saved. You are here to remember that you were never truly lost. The early Christians knew this. Not the institution that would later become the church, but the original followers who received the inner teachings directly. They understood that Jesus did not come to create a new religion. He came to wake up the sleepers, to remind the divine sparks trapped in matter that they had a way home. And the fourth prayer, the one I am about to give you, was the most direct tool he offered. But here is what made it so dangerous to the powers that controlled this world. It did not require a priest. It did not require a building. It did not require permission. It required only you, your voice, and your recognition of what you truly are. The church fathers who assembled the Bible in the 4th century knew exactly what they were doing when they excluded the Gnostic Gospels. They were not protecting you from heresy. They were protecting a system that needed you to believe you were born sinful, a system that needed you to depend on intermediaries between you and the divine, a system that needed you to keep coming back, keep confessing, keep feeling unworthy, keep generating the energy that feeds the very beings you were taught to call angels. But the texts survived. Buried in clay jars in the Egyptian desert, hidden by monks who knew their value, the truth waited. For 16 centuries it waited. And in 1945, a farmer named Muhammad Ali al-Saman discovered what the Archons had tried to erase. But here is what most people do not understand about these texts. Finding them was only the first step. Reading them is not enough. Studying them is not enough. The Gnostics were clear about this. Knowledge alone does not free you. Gnosis, true knowing, is experiential. It happens in the body. It happens in the moment of recognition, when something dormant inside you suddenly activates. And that is exactly what the fourth prayer is designed to trigger. Not belief. Recognition, not faith. Remembrance. Are you ready to receive it? If you feel the activation beginning, if your chest feels warm, or your scalp is tingling, or something in you is leaning forward even though you are sitting still, comment the words "I am ready" below right now. Because what I am about to give you will only work if you are truly prepared to receive it. The fourth prayer is not what you expect. It does not begin with "Our Father." It does not ask for daily bread or forgiveness of sins. It does not petition a distant God to intervene in your life, because the moment you petition, you place yourself below. The moment you ask, you confirm your separation, and separation is the greatest lie the demiurge ever planted in your consciousness. In the Gospel of Thomas, saying 24, the disciples asked Jesus to show them the place where he was, because they needed to seek it. And Jesus answered them with words that the church has never been able to explain within their framework. He said, "There is light within a person of light, and it lights up the whole world. If it does not shine, there is darkness." He was not pointing upward. He was not pointing to a temple or a heaven beyond the clouds. He was pointing inward. The light is already in you. It has always been in you. The fourth prayer is not about reaching something far away. It is about declaring something that is already true. 4 words, 11 letters, 1 doorway. I am the monad. That is it. 4 words, 11 letters. Say them out loud with me right now. I am the monad. Now, before you dismiss this as too simple, before the archonic programming in your mind tells you that this cannot possibly be enough, let me show you why. These 4 words terrify the rulers of this false reality. Let me show you why they had to be erased. When you say, "I am the monad," you are not making a request. You are making a declaration of identity. You are not asking to be connected to the source. You are claiming that you are the source experiencing itself through a temporary form. This is the gnosis that Jesus transmitted to the inner circle. This is the knowledge that the church labeled heresy because it eliminates the need for everything they built. No priest can stand between you and yourself. No ritual can connect you to what you already are. No institution can sell you salvation when you realize you were never separate from the divine in the first place. But here is the critical part that makes this different from every affirmation you have ever tried. The words alone are not enough. Repeating them like a parrot will produce nothing. The Gnostics understood that these declarations work only when spoken from a specific state of consciousness. You must feel the truth of the words as you speak them, not hope they are true, not believe they might be true. Feel their truth in your cells, in your breath, in the space behind your eyes, where awareness itself lives. Let me show you exactly how to do this. Tonight, before you sleep, you are going to perform a practice that has been passed down through the inner traditions for thousands of years. This is not meditation in the way the modern world teaches it. There is no app for this. There is no timer. There is only you and the doorway that has been waiting for you since before you took your first breath. First, find a space where you will not be disturbed. It does not matter if it is your bedroom, your living room, or a quiet corner of your apartment. What matters is that you will have complete privacy. Sit comfortably or lie down. Let your body settle. Let the noise of the day begin to fade. You are not trying to empty your mind. You are simply allowing everything to quiet on its own. Second, before you speak the words, you must feel into them. Feel into the I am. Not your name, not your job, not your relationships or your history or your failures or your dreams. Just the pure awareness that exists before all of those things. The simple fact that you are. That presence that has been constant since you were a child, watching your life unfold, unchanged by any experience. That is the I am. Rest there for a moment. Third, when you feel that presence clearly, expand it. Feel that this awareness is not trapped inside your skull. It is not limited to your body. The monad is infinite consciousness, and you are an expression of it, not separate from it. Not a creation of it, an expression. Like a wave is not separate from the ocean, like a ray of light is not separate from the sun. Feel that truth. Let it become undeniable in your direct experience. Fourth, when both of these recognitions are alive in you, speak the words out loud. Not shouted, not whispered, spoken with the certainty of someone stating the most obvious fact in existence. I am the monad, and then remain in silence. Do not rush to open your eyes. Do not check your phone. Do not analyze what happened. Simply receive. What will you experience? For some, the shift is immediate and dramatic. A warmth spreading through the chest, a pressure releasing at the crown of the head, a sense of expansion so profound that the room seems to disappear. For others, the experience is subtle at first. A quiet knowing, a peace that was not there before, a sense that something has unlocked even if you cannot name it. And for some, the first time may feel like nothing at all. This is not failure. This is resistance dissolving layer by layer. The decades of programming do not disappear in a single moment. But each time you speak the words from that place of recognition, another chain falls away. Now here is what to expect in the days that follow. You will begin to notice synchronicities that seem impossible to explain, numbers repeating, conversations that echo your thoughts, strangers who seem to look at you differently, as if they recognize something in you. This is not imagination. This is the reality matrix responding to your changed frequency. The archons maintain their control through a very specific vibration of fear, separation, and forgetfulness. When you declare your true identity, you begin vibrating at a frequency they cannot touch, and reality itself begins to reorganize around your remembrance. If you are feeling resistance right now, if something in your mind is saying, this is too simple, or I should wait until tomorrow, or this cannot possibly work, stop for a moment. That voice is not you. That is the pattern trying to maintain itself. That is the programming that has kept you cycling through this prison for incarnations beyond counting. The fact that you feel resistance is actually proof that this is real. The system does not resist. What does not threaten it? Close your eyes right now. Take a deep breath. Place your hand over your chest and feel your heartbeat. That rhythm carried you through every moment of this life. It beat while you slept. It continued through every joy and every heartbreak. It is beating right now, waiting for you to remember. Feel the life force that sustains it. Feel the awareness that witnesses it. That awareness is not a product of the body. The body is a product of that awareness. You are not a human being having a spiritual experience. You are the monad having a human experience. And tonight, you will finally speak that truth out loud. Let me bring this back to where we started. Jesus taught 3 prayers to the masses, but to the chosen ones, to those who had ears to hear, he revealed a 4th. Not a prayer of petition, not a prayer of confession, a prayer of declaration. 4 words that shatter the illusion of separation. 11 letters that open the doorway to the monad. I am the monad. This is what they erased. This is what they buried in the Egyptian desert for 16 centuries. This is what the archons have worked tirelessly to keep from you. And now it is yours. But knowing is not enough. You must speak it. You must speak it tonight. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Tonight. Right now. Your frequency is higher than it was before you started this video. You have been absorbing this information. Your consciousness has been shifting with every word. Tonight, before you sleep, you will still be in this activated state. If you wait, the activation fades. Your frequency drops back to baseline, and the window closes. The monad is listening. It has always been listening, because it is not something outside of you waiting to respond. It is the deepest truth of what you are, waiting to be recognized, waiting to be spoken, waiting to be claimed. If you speak these 4 words tonight and feel the shift, comment "I am the monad" below. Tell us what happened. Your experience might be exactly what another chosen one needs to hear to trust the process, to take the step, to finally break free. Subscribe to this channel. More chosen ones need this information. The algorithm does not want this to spread. Prove them wrong. Hit the like button. It tells the system to show this to others who are still trapped, still searching, still feeling that something is missing without knowing what. Think of someone right now who needs to hear this. Send them this video. The one who is ready will recognize it instantly. The 4 words are yours now. Jesus gave them to the chosen ones. I have passed them to you. What you do with them is your choice. But tonight, say them tonight. The monad is waiting to recognize you, to welcome you home, to show you that you were never separate. You were always one.